let me first understand from you, Sumit Chandraji, how would you see the second draft? A lot of corrections have been made. Some words which were used, mental illness, has been replaced with unsound mind. So those corrections changes have been made. Some textual errors, factual errors have also been changed. But this current draft that has now been tabled in Parliament, how would you see this? Is this a step forward or is this a step backward?
See, Anand, I'll go specific to the issues I think which still needs to be looked upon. I don't think there was any, first of all, requirement for creating an entire law. Our existing laws could have been amended. But for whatever reason, if a new law has come in, it has to now keep in mind certain aspects. Say, for example, Section 111, the 111, which earlier was 109 in the earlier bill of the same Bharatiya Sanhita. Now that talks about organized crimes, and the explanation in Section 111 uses the word economic offenses without a clear definition. Vague phrases such as financial scams, Ponzi schemes, mass marketing frauds, and there is no provision which defines or explicit definition of these terms. Now, if you look at the case of Shreya Singhal versus Union of India in the year 2015, where Supreme Court had held that Section 66A of the Information Technology Act was unconstitutional because it found the term grossly offensive, which was used in the IT Act, to be vague and devoid of precision. So now the new law cannot, again, after these judgments, also come up without defining vague and devoid of precision words. That needs to be looked into, and there are other aspects also. Say, for example, Section 377 of the old IPC, which of course everybody is aware with the Navtej Singh Johar judgment, was redefined by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court went into the removing the unconstitutionality qua the consensual sex. Now that was just an interpretation of the section where the Supreme Court says consensual sex, if it is not there, then it will be, if it is there, then it will be unconstitutional for 377 to exist. But 377 also came up with other terms such as bestiality. There are several instances of bestiality in the country. Times of India in 2022 reported a case where a 28-year-old man was held for bestiality in Surajpur. Then again in 23 January, one man was held in Kollam, Kerala. One in June 23 recently in Bulandshahr, UP, a 65-year-old man was caught for bestiality. Now, the term bestiality was defined under Section 377. But now you remove the total entire Section 377 without applying the actual judgment of the case of Navtej Singh Johar. So these are the aspects that needs to be looked into in the new act.
Yeah, quite surprising that a man cannot be raped. Does the law of our country hold that a man cannot be raped? There won't be sodomy, bestiality, or a man cannot be forced upon. That thought process itself is a little, but there are certain other aspects where Supreme Court judgments have been respected with regard to adultery. But in this case, has it again not create, should adultery be criminalized or not? That's another question. Or should there be a similar provision for both sexes? There was an argument, perhaps, if my memory serves me right, the Parliamentary Standing Committee had recommended saying that make it punishable on both sides, rather than just punishing only one gender. But they have removed it altogether. Anuja Kapoor, you would want to weigh in on this?
I think rather than criminalizing the one side and expect of it, because as Justice Chandrachud has said that during that period when he was talking about it, he said that why do you decriminalize, and you take the women as a chastity of yours, which is definitely a very heavy statement, because when we are looking into the overall women empowerment, I think how do we talk about women empowerment is happening through the laws. A woman, you say, that can be empowered without a law, without she's been inclusive in as we talk on Hindu Secession Act, suppose, the property, if you talk about. Now the woman is a part of a property. At first she was not. So when we're talking about not only in now triple talaq, when we talk, this is women empowerment. We used to have a Muslim law and a Hindu law. Now the maintenance and the alimony is a form of it. As you very well know, Anandji, I'm also a criminal psychologist, a victimologist,
Yes.
and I've been serving as a Supreme Court lawyer. And I have also looked into matrimonial laws and criminal laws. So understanding the perspective very, very keenly in a very close arena. I have also fought for victim of crime related to acid attack. So if I see the whole scenario of it, we are looking for an inclusive society. We're going ahead with the well-being of the society, of the citizens of India. The Modi ji on 15th of August has said it from the Red Fort that we want to end the slavery. Now,
but
either we are
Anuja ji,
independent
please, from your
or
legal
we're
acumen
not
and from your
independent.
legal
Yes.
understanding, please tell me, marriage is supposed to be a contract. So if
Not
anyone,
under Hindu law.
Huh.
Not under Hindu law.
Not in the Hindu law, but under the Special Marriages Act, it is deemed as a contract and it is part of the civil code, civil agreement. That's why it comes under the common civil code. What I am asking you is, if somebody breaches the contract, be it a man or woman, should they not be punished? Is it not a breach of trust? So then, should adultery be totally decriminalized? That's one argument. The other aspect is, you are saying that one gender cannot be raped at all. A man cannot be raped. So
now, what you're talking about
that's
is,
what our Nyaya Sanhita now looks at. So is that a fair assessment by the lawmakers?
talking about, and now, as if we talk about, then we are talking about the same sex. That is how a man can be raped.
No.
So we're talking about.
No, it's not just same sex. If somebody is brutalized, the brutality can be in any manner. Now,
So
when that
because
brutality
as,
happens, it's very clearly defined for a woman, but it's not defined for a man. And you have totally taken away that entire clause as Sumit Chandar mentioned. So I'm asking you, we'll get to the other aspects also with our other panelists in a bit. I'm just asking you. So how is this law equitable? If the law is only looking at women and not at men, how is it equitable?
Look, when we're talking about the equality of the law, I think if you remember, the Domestic Violence Act was only for the women. But now it is for men also, because I've filed many cruelty cases regarding
Correct.
the men more. Okay. But when we talk about cruelty, we're talking about rape. The incidences of the rape, as per FIR, how many do you see in this case? We talked about marital rape also. So when we talk about these things, we have to go as per the situation. We also talk about pedophiles. We also talk about many things in the society. So the inclusiveness is coming, where the first thing which we put forward is how a woman, she is the one who is mostly and brutally, the children and the women are the ones who are brutally
the law
being.
of the country supposed to? I'm not against women being protected, ma'am, by the law, but isn't the law of the country supposed to protect any and every citizen, and equally so? That's one criticism. That's one criticism that comes as far as the draft of the BNS bill right now, and it's subject to amendment. The other aspect.
Anandji.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
Anandji, because I think you understand what I'm saying, because this is a national TV. I cannot go in much of a details about a man, rape issues. I can only talk about this area is that, in rape, it is called as, if you finish one law, the other law which is connected to it also gets finished. We have to be careful in various areas that the laws retain, so that the connection between them stays. And
sexual assault is sexual assault. If a person is assaulted against their will sexually, however it is, then that should be deemed assault and should not be defined only for one gender in society, is my argument, and I'm parking it there. We got other aspects. We
have a posh also in the.
We got other aspects to cover.
This is what I'm saying. There is a posh also So how many? Where all you will counter? So we're talking about posh also, which is
Correct.
happening in sexual harassment.
The
and
Nyaya
posh, in
Sanhita, ma'am,
posh,
I am saying if one aspect of sexual assault is criminally punishable, then the other aspect of sexual assault should also be criminally punishable. Is